Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Hokey smokes, it is a brand new day, as stated, and it is hot outside. It is blistering. I'm sad that I have my AC unit turned off, because my wall of my apartment faces the sun for at least a good 6 hours. I can feel the heat radiating off that wall. So, oh boy, it's going to keep getting warmer. Yesterday I went for walkies, beginning of the day, and then at 9 o'clock that night, I went 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was hot out there. So it's going to be at least 9 o'clock before I go walkies again, which means trapped inside this Crackerbox. I mean, I have chores that I need to go do, so I'm going to be out of here for a little while, but that's just a little while. I can't go too far or do too much. My knee is still not in good a shape as it was yesterday, but it's not in terrible shape. I just need to be careful and mindful when I am on it. So, yay on that. So, just being careful. Yay. It's good to fall apart. So, anyway, though, but just being trapped inside of here because of the heat and because of my knee, and I like to be out and walking anymore. I like to go through fields. I like to go along and look at stuff. I got places that I want to go when it's a little bit cooler. I've talked about all these little drainage divots, and I've taken video of some of them. There are a couple in various fields that I want to record. Some of them that are like right up, you walk up to it and it's right there. Some of them that are like at a school where parts of the kids playing field is right up against the fence that cordons off this divot where it's just rocks and drainage pipes that when there's water it flows there. Yeah, I mean, they're everywhere. It's not unique that we have them, no. Stuff like this is wherever there's drainage and wherever you have to send the drainage. And in an area like this with a lot of aquifers, they tend to go into various places, and so they just put the water there. But there's a lot of these little divot things, and I think they're awesome, and I don't know why. But I want to drive this out there when I can, when it's cooler and when my knee is in not such bad shape. And of course, oh God, it's good having old skin when it gets all itchy. Where was I? Oh no, this is the great part about ADHD, which means my blood pressure must be coming down. Because earlier today, since I've forgotten what I was talking about, earlier today, I thought of some things to write down on a list to go and do. And then I was able to remember that list while I was looking for something to write with, and then the paper to write it on. And then I put the list, so it's not in here anymore, in my pocket when it was done. But I remembered the list while I was looking for stuff. Normally, if it takes more than 10 seconds to find something to write with, it's gone. But this lasted. And so that was good. Able to walk off to the store with that list. The fun part was, it was go to the hospital to check on my appointments, pay for my storage unit, go to Walmart to renew a medication, and that was the three things that I wanted to get done. First thing, went to the hospital. The person I needed to talk to was on break. Now, that's not terrible, is it? But I've got ADHD that with stuff that I need to get done on the list is not going to just let me stand there and do nothing while I wait. So I headed on out to go pay at my storage unit, where the guy that I gotta pay isn't. He's got a lot of stuff to do. He's a busy guy, and he's not there. Again, I could have waited, but with stuff I had to do, I went on, and at least I was able to renew the medication when I got to Walmart. But I really should head back out. It's 2:14, so who knows if I will or won't. I should likely head out to at least check on some things, or maybe call and pay. And then I cold turkeyed off of my one ADHD med, the Buprion Wellbutrin antidepressant. And then I called the Veterans Administration, and they said that with the 4th, they can't get it to me early. It'll have to show up Saturday. Well, it's Tuesday. It still hasn't showed up. I have been over a week without it, so I've cold turkey off of it. I'm not on that medication anymore. So, I'm going to need to call them, which means I guess I do need to head out into the sun so I can go out walking so I can get this done. I don't know. We'll find out. I haven't gotten much done. Again, heat, knee. So there's really not a whole lot for me to talk about past everything I've talked about. I've just been watching videos. I have played some games. It's things like Fallout New Vegas and the like, but at least I've got things that will work on the laptop there. You know, it's a nice piece of hardware. It's just an old piece of hardware. And even at that, I mean, it's a Lenovo ThinkPad W550S. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM. And when I looked it up online, just to see what it would cost, you can get the cheap ones, like on eBay, for like $150, or you can still buy them new for like $700. There's a range. That's the very high range, but they're still selling them new, and it's Lenovo ThinkPad W550S. So that's the same machine. So it's not a bad piece of hardware. It's this older piece of hardware, and it does really good stuff. And I'm very, very glad and very, very grateful. So hokey smokes. And I showed in my video part yesterday on there's a weird base that it sits on. I was taking a look at it and thinking, well, can I use it without the base? Because the base is kind of odd. And does it have to be on that? And so I took it off the base and I disconnected the base, and then I looked at the laptop unit. Yeah, it doesn't have things like an HDMI port. It's got one type of video out on it on the side, and it's one of those like 20 some odd pin VGA type connectors. And that's it. If you have the base, then it gives you like 3 or 4 different types of video connectors. One of them, luckily, HDMI. It's got on just the laptop itself about 3 different USB connectors. You put it onto the base, and that adds another 4 or 5. So that base is handy, but I don't understand when things should be plugged in or unplugged. I mean, you probably shouldn't have the battery plugged in all the time, but then you'd have to take it off the base to use it, but then I wouldn't be able to plug it into anything, so why would I take it anywhere? I just want to keep it here. I was thinking, because there's a battery in the base, so it has battery power. But if you unplug the power supply, so it just uses the battery that's in the plug-in base, then it doesn't power things like the video. It's a very good thing. I don't plan on making it mobile, so this is just stuff that does not affect me. I just think it's weird, so I'm talking about it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not saying, oh, it's bad because of this. I'm going, this is an odd design decision that It probably makes sense when you look at it on the whole. I can't see it when just taking a look at this small part of it. So it's still really neat. I mean, even the base itself is ingenious in its own way, where it's not a powerful hold on the whole thing. That sounds really odd, but it's not a great grip where it's got hooks and power wedges on it. No, if you grab hold of it and lift it upward, it just goes boink. But as long as you're not lifting upward, it is solid. It doesn't go side to side. It doesn't go downward. It is there. So it's a rather ingenious design in that fashion too. So thumbs up on that. And then the last thing that I am going to say about this before I really say the whole other stuff. God's above, I can speak English. When I was playing Fallout New Vegas, I had chosen melee because I did not inability to speak English because my brain is malfunctioning. No, that's the gabapentin speaking. But I have taken melee combat with this character, and I have been going between various types of melee weaponry, like spiked knuckle dusters. And what I really like is the bladed gauntlet, which I got hold again. Which, it's just that, it's a gauntlet, and it's got blades on it. So when you're smacking on characters with that one, ouch, ouch, ouch. And that's really cool. And it's really, I think, neat to have like just the spiked knuckle dusters just hopped up on a whole bunch of chems. So instead of like maybe the 4 regular smacks with my knuckle dusters I'm using 6, and I'm using extra 25% power with each hit because, again, hopped up on a whole bunch of chems. And then when she leans way back and then puts everything into it so that when, she's finished with her swing, she's leaning way over. And I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase. I'm going to use the word kitty for this because I don't want to be demonetized, but it's like, oh, when my character does that, she's just putting her entire kitty into this shot. Because they explode. So I was like, oh, and there's the drawback and the big lean. You know that kitty is coming out. And I don't mean literally coming out. And I don't mean it's just the phrasing. And so smackaroony. Yeah, when you put your whole kitty into it, you can do anything. Even explode your enemies into large bloody chunks of once living, now raw steaming meat. Thumbs up for that. A very good thing indeed. So, yeah, I'm going to upload, render, I'm going to render and then upload. And while that's happening, I'm going to try and make some phone calls. And then when it cools down, maybe make one last trip outside, just so I don't go insane inside the Crackerbox here. So, if you're a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you, especially if you have watched this far. And before I actually go that far, if you could type crushed rose, just that, crushed rose, into the YouTube comments to let the YouTube algorithm and myself know that people do in fact watch these videos. That would be very, very cool. But again, if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. Your help is so greatly, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. Without your help, I would be badly hurting. And if you are a person who has left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you so much. I try to answer as many as I can, and with this thing here, I should be able to answer more. And by this thing here pointing vaguely off to the side, I mean that laptop. So I have been trying to answer more. Hopefully that indeed will continue. So thumbs up there as well. And if you also have watched this far, I do have that GoFundMe going, which I will hopefully have a link in one of the corners in the description below, so that I can try and get some kind of desktop unit. That I described the laptop here as a buffet type banquet of a delicious meal where there were 10 dishes present. 2 of them were made with peanuts, but I'm allergic to peanuts. The other 8 dishes that were a part of the buffet banquet I could feast upon, and I did and am still doing. Those 2 dishes that I can't eat because I'm allergic to peanuts is the video rendering. It can't do that. So I need to get hold of something where I can actually do that. So I do have a GoFundMe where, again, hopefully I'm going to have the list here or down there, the link. So that would be cool. If you could check that out, definitely a thumbs up. So thumbs up, and hey, I've even forgotten how I normally end this. So I'll do it this way, just abruptly. Until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. So, I'm gonna stop recording and turn the AC back on. Oh, it's getting so warm. My brain is starting to not function properly. Which, you know, is there any difference between when it's cooler?